Hi there, good noon and welcome to another session where we go ahead and focus on one specific aspect of your CAD exam. So today the spotlight is going to be on para summary questions. So, sorry. So this is BYJU'S Exam Prep and I welcome you to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Vikrant and I am your coach for all things related to English and communication skills. So we keep on bringing a lot of sessions. Some of them are generic sessions where we talk about preparation plan, strategy. Some of those are sessions where you and I get this opportunity to sit down and practice multiple questions together. For example, the session that I took with you yesterday, we had a bit of para jumble, a bit of RC, a bit of para summary, and then in between we of course go ahead and create these sessions where we dedicate the entire time to one particular question type. So this is one of those third types of sessions. And before we proceed further, here is something for you to think of. Be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. Or in other words, identify that you are doing what you want to do, that it is indeed something that you are curious to do, or are enthused to do. And once you do that, then take a stand, then go all out and do everything in your ability to take care of that particular job, that particular business. And today we're looking at para summary. So let's start with what is meant by a summary. Now you know that, I mean, with very few days to go between today and the exam, if you're a 23 aspirant, this is a question that you already thoroughly know the answer to, but let's go ahead and nonetheless define it once again. At the end of the day, a summary is all about communicating the same that has been conveyed by a paragraph, by an article, by an essay, by a book in a more concise manner. Fair enough? And how do we go ahead and solve these questions? Just to give you a quick recap, we of course read the entire paragraph, then we go to the answer choices, and then we start eliminating. But within this reading the paragraph, we need to have this one extra ability. We need to know the difference between a key idea and a detail that was there to support or elaborate upon that key idea. And one of those key ideas in a paragraph happens to be a main idea. So if you look at a typical hierarchy, every paragraph has a core point. Let's call that the main idea of the paragraph. Now this main idea of the paragraph is typically going to be supported by some ideas. So you can have supporting idea 1, supporting idea 2, maybe even a supporting idea 3. And then each one of these supporting ideas can be further elaborated upon. Okay, so you may add some details, you may add some examples, you may add some facts, you may give some specifics or specific instances. So summary is more about this level and leaving these things out. And by now you know that 80% of the questions in the exam are actually even more about the main idea. So even if you're missing out on some supporting ideas, it still generally works. So we essentially do this process and then we go to the answer choices and we eliminate using these 3 things. So if you have a question so far, please go ahead, ask that question to me. I would love to answer it. Otherwise, we can go ahead, solve some questions together. Good afternoon, Sunny. Good afternoon, Anish. Happy Choti Diwali today, right? But we will wish each other Happy Diwali tomorrow. So let's wait for that. Okay. So let's move on from here. Let's dive into our questions. So ready? So what I am going to do is I'll give you a question, but then it becomes difficult to put the question in a para summary into a single, it becomes difficult to put it on a single slide essentially. So what do we do as a result? I will give you the paragraph on one screen, and I will give you the options, the answer choices on the next screen. So you'd basically read the paragraph, keep the key ideas or key things in your mind, and once you've managed to do that, you'd go on to the answer choices and then solve these. Ready? So here is your question 1. The paragraph. Take some time reading it. Once you've read it, let me know, and then I'll take you over to the answer choices. Done? Have you managed to read it in its entirety? I think I need to tinker with the settings a bit. I am eating into the paragraph, so let's cut it out. Cut me out a little. Okay, so I'm just giving you the opportunity to read the last sentence, right? Economic nation adversely affects the entire global community. So I don't know what's wrong. Here are the answer choices. Now, can you go through these and tell me which one should be the best one? So which one? Sunny and Arun have shared their opinion. So has Angela. Let us see. Globalization has caused the elimination. So this is alien. This is an addition. B. This once again is an addition. The paragraph does not talk about culture, Virender. Does it talk about culture? Failure of preservation of local culture and traditions. Not even present in the paragraph. And A is definitive. When you say globalization has caused the elimination of developing nations as developed countries took charge, we are talking about these as threats, these as scenarios that can play out. They have not played out yet, and that is why we can highlight that part of A as an issue. Okay, see, globalization has brought a number of negative impacts on the economy of not only individual countries but on the whole, on the world as a whole. Yeah, this is better. The entire paragraph is more about the challenges or the problems associated with globalization and the way it has been detrimental to the economy. D changes the main idea, and I think it's a good thing that none of you have chosen that. The best answer choice here is option C. And with that, let me take you over to the next question. Ready? Here is the paragraph for you. Now that's all right, Virender. We just need to, I know this is a silly mistake. We just need to bring a little more focus, and I'm sure you'd be able to do it rather comfortably. So I assume you've read it by now. This is a relatively simple paragraph to read. A deformity in this, so basically a deformity is some part of the human body in the context of this paragraph, of course, which is misshapen. So anything which is deformed is something which has lost its form or not in its original form. Man, people have started bursting crackers this early in the morning. I mean, it's not exactly morning, but still. Wait for the evening, guys. Okay, so these aren't crackers. My mistake. I could not recognize it. This is a bullet with a silencer that produces this effect, which is quite popular among a lot of Punjabis. I'm one of those, so I know this culture, this subculture. हाँ, गानों तक में डाला हुआ है, पता है, बुलेट तक रखी या पटाखे पौन नो, क्या करें? Okay, anyhow, here are the answer choices. So go ahead and tell me what you think it is. So this is a structure that I have rarely given to you because narrative structures essentially become pretty easy. But then it does not mean that we should avoid them completely. And you are absolutely right. The correct answer here should be option A. And with that, let me take you over to question number 3 on your screen. Read it? So simple economics kind of a paragraph. And here are the answer choices for you. So which one? Okay, I see that Virender and Prasanna have shared their answers. Waiting for one or two more. So yeah, absolutely right. B, affordable is a synonym of price competitive and therefore will definitely work. Here is question number 4. Making it done. So here are the answer choices. Ready? Okay. Okay. Some A's, some B's. That's curious. So let's look at A. There are multiple capitalist approaches to dividing the rewards among winners, such as the top-heavy reward system and the broad-based approach. Anything wrong in this? I think this is fine. This captures a lot of the first half. Okay. Then let's look at B. Capitalism favors unequal distribution of rewards, with the top winner walking away with the biggest rewards, which is different from a fairer broad-based approach. Now the only problem with B is The use of the word fairer. The moment you use fairer, we are bringing in that idea of comparison. We are saying that one method is better than the other method. But does the paragraph offer that comparison? Does the paragraph give you that comparison and tells you that one method is to be favored over the other? So this is something that we do need to think of when we choose B. C says top heavy and broad based reward systems are two important approaches to reward distribution and can be seen as possible capitalist models. Okay, this also looks all right. D, capitalism can have different systems of reward distribution such as top heavy and broad based, both of which have their own pros and cons. So are there any pros and cons mentioned? No. So I would say in this particular case, B and D should be ruled out because they are bringing in ideas that are not even a part of the paragraph. So ideally, we need to start thinking of A versus C. Which one is better? Now, if I take you back to the paragraph, the first sentence is generic, but the rest of them says how it plays out in the domain of capitalism. So once again, in the second approach too, we are saying how this plays out within the domain of capitalism. Right? So we've added, or in a way we are giving a very specific example linked to capitalism when it comes to both of these. C brings in capitalist models. Does that give an edge to C? Are these or can they be considered two capitalist models? So these are two models. They have their application in capitalism. So when you apply it to capitalism, it will play out in a certain way. But does that mean that they are capitalist models? They are models that have applications in capitalism, or their application in capitalism is discussed or detailed. No, Virender, when you say a comparison is given, that comparison is within a particular category. So when you say top heavy reward system, this is what happens, that the top winners get more. But when you look at the broad based, that's different. Now, is there a comparison between top heavy versus broad based? Does the paragraph tell you that one of these is better than the other? The comparison that you're talking about is comparison of the prize winners within a particular system. But does the paragraph tell you which system is better? And that's where we're playing at. That's why I'm ruling out B. And thus, and whatever we were talking about earlier, that they're not capitalist models, they have just applications in the world of capitalism. The best answer should actually be A. So you notice there are times when the paragraphs are simple, but the answer choices can be crafted craftily, cunningly, and that can make the question difficult. So keep that sharp eye and that sharp brain while evaluating every single word, every single part that creates a doubt in your mind. With that, let's dive into our next one. Here it is. Anna Karenina. Got read it? And now you know why these authors were rated so highly. I mean, look at this line, man. Look at this line. Look at this observation, okay? All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. This is, in fact, you remember thermodynamics? Or you, for that matter, just to give you why even talk about thermodynamics, look at your house, look at the room around. You realize there are multiple ways of making it dirty and messy, but there are just one or two ways of making it look beautiful and pretty. What a nice little spin. Okay, then here are the options for this particular question. What's your take? Okay, so we're getting C and D. So let's just focus on these two in that case. You notice D says scientists have developed a new paradigm called the Anna Karenina principle. Yeah, that's consistent with the paragraph to explain the relative similarity of healthy microbes in the guts of humans and their difference in reaction during stress. Wonderful. This appears fabulous. But then, is the paragraph restricting the microbiota to only the humans? You notice D is talking about just the gut of humans. But if I were to take you back to the paragraph, it is not restricting itself to the humans, so that introduces a distortion. Whereas C, by the virtue of talking about animals, covers that angle as well and consequently goes on to become better than D. And that is why for question number 5, our preference will be option C over option D. And here is the next one now. So what's your take? So please read the paragraph and then I'll take you through the options. So read it. So I thought a bit of science and tech as well, because the examiner asks it, and thus we need to be ready. Arun, paradigm, I think a loose translation of paradigm will be POV. You know, a point of view, a way of looking at things. In science, it refers to a set of theories that are aimed at explaining a particular domain. Okay, so here are the answer choices. Thank you, Navid. Thank you, man. That means a lot, huh? I love starting my day happy. Thank you. Yes, there is no ideal time as such, but I mean, I'd still say if you can solve them in under 90 seconds, you should be in a very happy space. So I typically take around 55. Rahul, are we sure? You are giving me the answer to question number 6, right, Rahul Kumar? Let me take you to the paragraph once again. What does it talk about? This talks about the internet protocol, principal communication protocol. What does it do? And then when you pick up C, you're saying historically IP was connectionless datagram service in the original transmission. So when you pick up C, you're picking up just one sentence, and even there, where is this coming from? Later it evolved to connection oriented. So it has deletion plus addition. So problem A is definitely better. I think most of you have, as a result, consequently choosing A. There are times when I don't get to realize whether you are giving me answer to that same question or the previous one. That's the nature of the beast. But with that, let's go through the next question. Here is the next one. So you notice this analogy that is being drawn here. An analogy that is actually alien to half of us. I only know surfing due to some of the TV shows that I've watched, but but it does make a lot of sense to me. I do notice and I realize it's quite applicable in our day-to-day life. So principal and primary. In the context, Rahul, what is there going to be a different? Principal is something that is used predominantly, and anything that is used predominantly is primary, no? Principal is main and primary is also main. Okay, so here are the answer choices. Let us see what you choose for question number 7. Absolutely. And I will end the session with this question so that you can retain the message of this paragraph with you. Look for opportunities, wait it out, be patient, but particularly important for relationships. Okay, don't rush into them. And of course, even otherwise in life. So keep this with you. Keep this message with you in your mind and apply it at different places. And in case you liked working with me in this session, do give it a like. And you can tune up at 7 p.m. for our series where we run you through, where we're running a CAT 23 crash course. For even more practice, you can consider joining our test series. And if you want to revise some concepts, you can always unlock a free 3-day trial. Go through the topics that have been bothering you the most and benefit from them. And in case you enjoy them, which I know you will, do recommend BYJU'S to others. And let's hope that you also get great results like these guys. So that's it from me today. I look forward to meeting you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. And in case I do not meet you by tomorrow, once again, a very happy and safe Diwali to those of you who are celebrating. Take care. Have a great day ahead.